Hi, Vancouver Opera. My name is Luka Kawabata, and I'm here with the amazing Meaghan Williams, who is our bassist in our beloved Vancouver Opera Orchestra. Hi, Meaghan. Thanks for joining
Hi,
us.
Luca. Thanks for having me.
I have a little, maybe not a confession, but a funny little crossroads in our paths that I discovered as I was looking into you. Just that I just got back from spending a month in St. John's. And
Oh,
as far as I
wild.
know, you are from St. John's.
I
And
am.
so I was very curious to hear your perspective coming from one side of the country to the other. What makes Vancouver and St. John's so different?
Well, I think the people in St. John's are arguably the best. And I don't think that that is really too biased because I think anybody that gets to visit Newfoundland also comes back with that same conclusion.
Mhm.
Um, but I I think the size of the arts community in St. John's, um, not just music, but like folk music and theater and dance and like fantastic fiction writers.
Mm.
Newfoundland punches way above its weight, I think, on the cultural scene. But obviously, Vancouver's a bigger community, so especially in terms of classical, there are more opportunities here. So that's sort of how I ended up out here. And I do love the coast. So
Yeah. I always say that if I ever were to leave the coast, I would miss just the energy of the water. And so going to the other side of the country, it's still, you feel that connection. And I'm sure
yeah.
that you agree. Would you say that growing up in Newfoundland, or how would you say that growing up in Newfoundland has affected your sensibilities as a musician, or affected your kind of musical journey as you've traveled the world with music?
Well, I think one of the common experiences with being from Newfoundland is that you have to leave home
Hmm.
at some point. And um, that's often what you hear from people when they're away, whether it's working in Alberta or, you know, David Pomeroy was a soloist with the VSO last week,
Hmm.
and he's been away for years. Or Wayne Johnson also writes about it, about that identity of being a Newfoundlander but never really being able to go home again. I mean, you can always go and visit, but um, and maybe I'll be fortunate enough to move back someday. But uh, so there's a kind of longing for a sense of place and a community, but also the realization that you need to go and see what else is out there in the world, which
Hmm.
is also forming part of your artistic identity and perspective, um, and kind of merging those things together.
Hmm. That's very interesting, and I think what you touched on there is kind of a microcosm of the entire industry. That there's always somewhere else where you feel like you need to go in order to make it, or whatever "make it" in quotation mark feels like. And I think it comes with maturity and time in the industry, and as yourself as an artist, where you kind of settle into this understanding of what making it, redefining what making it really means.
Yeah, and it's also about like looking for opportunities and creating opportunities and the people you meet along the way, um, and I feel like all of that is valid in terms of like what we bring to any particular interpretation or performance.
Mhm.
But I'm dying to know what were you doing in Newfoundland?
I was working on a world premiere, a new production by Laura Kaminsky called February.